but the standard accepted stall angle is actually 14 degrees, so very, very complex aerodynamics. Well, when he gets to display center, Gizmo will be putting the afterburner in and turning into a minimum radius turn. There he goes. 120 knots, the aircraft accelerates to 350. Descends around 140 to 160 knots. Back at idle power now to complete his downward spiral. Most impressive slow flight paths of the day, around about 120 knots. Around about 25 alpha, fly-by-wire on this aircraft, of course, updated to Super Hornet status. All of the controls working very hard to keep this aircraft straight.
gunship has just destroyed the enemy that were holding out in a bunker using a laser-guided Hellfire missile. Now they climb above the battlefield to assess the engagement. In addition to operations in Afghanistan, 4 British Apaches deployed to Mesbrook on the outside of the aircraft. That is where the Apaches are. Each rocket pod can carry up to 19 rockets, and the aircraft can carry a maximum of 76. There are a variety of rocket types available to the crew, depending on the target. Carry 4 missiles, and they come to 16 to carry one A-1. The Hellfire has 2 different modes of guidance, laser or radar. The laser-guided variant flies to the laser beam fired from the aircraft, whereas the radar-guided one is fired from again. Located under the nose of the aircraft is a 30mm cannon. This can fire 10 rounds a second out to distances over 4 kilometres. The pilot wears a monocle over the right eye, which they can use to aim and fire the gun. You can see being waved around now. On the very front, you can see the Apache sighting unit. This allows the co-pilot gunner to find targets by day and night using up to 127 times magnification. Above the sight is the pilot's night vision system that displays a thermal image to the pilot's monocle, allowing flight in absolute darkness. Also housed within the sighting unit is the Apache's laser. This is used to designate targets with a laser-guided Hellfire missile. It also provides range information to the Apache's weapon system used to fire target locations between the aircraft, as we saw earlier.
is that one pilot is waving from the left window and the other one from the right hand window, so that means they're flying the helicopter down together. One is operating the pitch, one is stick, and that's quite challenging coordination. So if you have something to wave back at our pilots, please do so. They will see, they will notice it as a sign of appreciation. Thank you very much for this impressive display, Captain Jan Pieter and Captain Philip Weber. Thanks for the display. Now, we started with the show of the PC-17 just behind. Helicopter, you see the Swiss Air Force PC-17. It is friends, the Flying Diamonds. And a second looping 60 degrees to the right. As a welcome to those 9 professional pilots from Swiss Air Force. With its 9 aircraft without a PC-7, the team is one of the biggest propeller-driven display team in the world. As I mentioned earlier on, they are not professional display pilots, but they're all frontline FA-18 Hornet pilots. So the very spectacular display you've seen before from the Finnish Air Force, that's their normal aircraft they operate. In the next 20 minutes we will not try to show you any risky or spectacular maneuvers, but we are here to demonstrate the professionalism and the courage it needs to sit in the cockpit and to operate with 9 aircraft at such close distance. The distance between the aircrafts is between 3 and 4 meters. Formation now called Super Flash, the big arrow. Seconds into the big delta. Precision of the aircraft maneuvers and exact formation change must be appreciated. Increasing the pace shortly, and just to give you an imagination or a sign, the wingspan now from the outer left aircraft to the outer right aircraft is comparable to an Airbus 340. Just we're doing it with 9 Pilatus PC-7. So the team again in the Delta formation here in RIAT. In our Swiss colors, red and white, and so this formation is called Day and Ocean. So 2 formations with a 1-3-60. Sorry, I forgot one. The one at the beginning. 3 formations. Position at its best. Turn. And obviously the name of the Vulcan I don't need to explain furthermore. We appreciate being here at the last as much speed as he can to give us a nice high on the roller coaster. When Brett got to the top of the manoeuvre, he would have put the cycling stick forward, thus increasing the lift on the aft head and decreasing it on the front head, which changed the attitude of the aircraft. After his linking wing over, Brett will do one of my favourite manoeuvres, and it's actually one of the manoeuvres that are more operationally relevant to the Chinook. It's called the nose down quick stop. This can be used as a lane spot of troops to quickly slow down eyes of a football field. This reduces the aircraft's time low and slow, which in hostile territory is a very dangerous time for the aircraft. So Brett's now going to demonstrate the Gorney climb. The Gorney's named after a base in Bosnia where the Chinook used to show its excessive power in comparison to other helicopters over there. At approximately 1,000 feet now, the crew are going to get the nose down and do the spiral descent. Two guys sat in the front, we've also got through this cabin. David Hayes hanging off the taillight now. And when the aircraft calms down a little bit, he's going to reposition from the front of the aircraft to the back and get ready for the crowd wave. So right about now, Scott and David Hayes will be uplifted and sprinting as fast as he can outside the aircraft. Position, away. The aircraft's going to do a quick wing over. And then another quick stop, and have a look on the ramp, you might see someone giving you a hello. Developed as a private venture initially. In fact, it had its roots in an aircraft that was built at the request of Lord Rotherby, the owner of the Daily Mail, who wanted a new high-speed transport aircraft. That aeroplane, Rotherby presented to the nation under the name Britain First. It attracted much interest from the Air Ministry because it was faster than a lot of the contemporary fighter bombers of the day. The decision was taken to adapt it as a new light bomber. The long-range fighter. The workshops of the Southern Railway in Ashford developed a ventral gun pack of 4.303-inch Brownings, transformed the Blenheim into just such a fighter aircraft, which came into service in November 1938 with number 25 Squadron. And it's as a Blenheim 1F fighter that this aircraft, newly restored, is now configured. the Vulcan squadrons in the 70s. That's number 9, 12, 27, 35, 44, 50, 83, 101, 617, and the operational conversion. She also has painted on her nose the spirit of Great Britain, which really encapsulates all that she stands for. Now I think next we're going to see Camp Rubens bring her around towards us on the axis, which we'll talk about many times today, heading straight in towards us, and then as she tiptoes up on us again, we'll hear the power come on as he takes her into a spiral climb. Falcon first flew in 1952, only 11 years after the first flight of the Lancaster. Look at the two of them together and you think they come from different centuries. Not a bit. Designed by the same team. But it's becoming increasingly difficult to find the expertise for the companies to continue to look after her. She is still being enjoyed by 3 million people every year, probably a whole lot more this year, including children and young people that are inspired to learn more about engineering and aviation. Zoom climb, and she'll be coming back later. German plane and then into the North Control Ball. Let's turn hot, something prevented by the likes of the Vulcan that we've just seen. There's an interesting feature of this helicopter. It's not just an attack helicopter like the Apache, it also has a certain degree of transport capability as well, and it was initially foreseen that the troops on board in the cabin would be able to mount small arms in the helicopter's side windows. The first flight of the prototype was in September 1969, and 3 years later it came into service with the Soviet Army. Of course, being a battlefield helicopter for operations in that environment, it incorporates a large amount of armour plating to protect both the crew and any soldiers who may be on board. Over to commence its display. Get a good view throughout the sequence of the classic flying profile with those two cockpits up front stepped up. The gunner sits in front, the pilot in the raised position behind. The height wasn't always like that, so initially they had a rather large length area.
if you are going to any other air shows this year, of seeing this magnificent aeroplane, is the great Dr. Seuss, the man who wrote The Cat in the Hat and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, said, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Or if you can't manage that, at least smile through the tears."
That's him leading the team now as they come into a left-hand twist. Reds 4, 5, 8 and 9 now acknowledging the move. Reds 6 and 7 move to their respective sides. Reds 8 and 9 to the outside. A very wide shape now. 100 metres or 300 feet wide with some very patriotic red, white and blue. This is Phoenix. How fitting with that red, white and blue above the fabulous Falcon there. Fly past. A real credit to the British aviation industry. On the leader's right wing is the first of our 3 new pilots this year. He is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Mike Bowden. Mike is a former Hawk flying instructor, then operationally moved on to fly both the Harrier GR9 and the Tornado GR4 before joining the Red Arrows. To the front right now you see another shape forming, Reds 8 and 9 have dropped behind 4 and 5. As they come in from the right in the shape of chevron, they're going to fly a formation barrel roll as they show us the chevron roll. Jets going upside down together at 2,500 feet, 400 miles an hour, with the aircraft only 6 feet away from each other. That shape of chevron flown clearly with red one at the front in the middle. Then we have the odd numbered pilots on the left, the even numbered pilots fly on the There you go, Ian. Keep your eyes on Jippo underneath. Jets reach a height of 7,000 feet and on comes the red smoke. They get ready to draw a heart. Now keep your eyes to the top right of the heart. You see another aircraft approaching. This is Red 8. He's Flight Lieutenant Ollie Pass. Ollie is in his 3rd and final year as a Red Arrow. He is a former Tornado GR4 pilot and Hawk instructor. There you go, Red 6, 7 and 8 with their heart and spear. Red Arrows are lucky to have our vital partners here. The inside pairs roll to the outside as they fly the rollbacks.
Nose up to 45 to 50 degrees, and at the top, that very impressive 120 degree wing over.
Fall out.
thanks to its fly-by-wire, enormous flight control surfaces, and a wonderful flight control computer. But this is just for when the engines are stoked up in dry power, that is unreheated, a lot of smoke coming out. But as the reheats are lit, the fuel gets completely carbonated and the smoke disappears. So a good indication as to whether or not the aircraft is being max performed.